flying is the infallible test. That you will become a Doran? No, only that you have it in you to become one. You may decide later that you don't want to, or circumstances may somehow prevent you. What circumstances? Things happen, said Juniper. And if I decide to become one, then will I end up living on that island? At Brodgar? Not necessarily. It's just an indication that that place is of great importance in your life. We don't yet know in what way. Well, I think I'll decide to become a Doran now. You can't. You just have to wait and see. I felt very tired that day after all the excitement of flying. When I sat up, the room spun around me, and my legs, as they touched the floor, felt as if they were made of sponge. By crawling on my hands and knees, I reached the chair where my clothes were laid out, and without attempting to stand up again, I put them on. I pulled myself into a standing position with the help of the chair, groped my way to the door, trying to ignore the way the floor rose and fell like the deck of a ship. And outside the door I once again crawled to the head of the stairs. There was only one way to negotiate the stairs, and that was to turn around and go down them backward like a tiny child, feeling for them with my feet. When I got to the bottom, I found Juniper watching this performance sympathetically. "This first day's the worst," she said. "Tomorrow you will feel a lot better, and the day after as if nothing unusual had happened to you." She gave me her arm to help me to my chair, which felt like a safe anchorage. I was all right as long as I kept perfectly still, but any movement, however slight, started the horrible feeling of vertigo. It was going to be a long, boring day. My head ached, and I suddenly felt so tired of my body that I wiped away a tear. Juniper noticed it at once. "Could you bear a potion?" she asked. "If I gave you some of my very best tea afterward to take away the taste, it would make you feel a lot better." I nodded miserably, a movement which started the buzzing and vertigo again. She was right, though. The potion took the headache away, and the tea took away the awful taste of it. But I was still too dizzy to stand up. Juniper stopped work early that day, took me on her lap, and sang to me. I felt less like a future Doran than like a very little girl who needed to be cuddled. You know, when I left this room and started to fly, what was funny was that I didn't seem to have the ointment on me anymore, though as soon as I got back, there it was again. Did I really fly or not? Could you and Uni see me when I was gone? While I was gone? Really, Juniper said, smiling. Didn't I tell you there were many kinds of reality? When the ointment began to have an effect on you, then you were in one kind of reality, and Uni and I were in another. So yes, we could see you here while you were on the trip. So it wasn't real? I said, disappointed. Remember how you felt up there in the sky, or walking up the stone avenue, or standing in front of the altar? Was that less real than sitting here now and talking? Maybe more real, I said. Certainly